Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. Welcome back to school. I'm sure you missed it. 4 days off for you to enjoy some time walking around the yard, walking from one room to another, laying on the couch. Wondering if any of you guys finished Netflix. We got to be getting close at this time. Is there another option? Is there another? I'm sure there are other options. I'm sure you guys know all about them. But anyway, hopefully you guys had a good Easter weekend. Hopefully you got to do something that was different than watching Netflix, but there's not a whole lot else out there right now. All right, guys, let's get into what's going on around the world today. Obviously, we have our Corona updates that we've had throughout this entire travesty, or not necessarily travesty, crisis, I should say. We're on day 30, by the way. It's been 30 days since we have been in school, which is crazy. So if you look at lower left or lower right hand corner there, we have the governor of California. California, this is positive news, and I'm doing my best to try to find some positive news on our whole outbreak. But California, Washington, and Oregon are already talking about how they are going to start coming back to normal. Their theory is that they need to do it as a region and not just as an individual state, especially because people will travel back and forth between those regions, which makes you wonder how will the Midwest choose to make those decisions. Probably our biggest, I guess, partner as far as people coming back and forth between states is probably Illinois. And Illinois is certainly, they certainly have more cases than we do. I don't know what that means for us. Does that mean we have to be closed longer because of Chicago? But who knows? We'll see. All right, other things over Easter weekend, tornadoes ripped across the South. 32 people were killed. That same storm system that brought a bunch of snow way up north there ended up bringing tornadoes to the South. So sadly, a bunch of people lost their lives, and a lot of people lost their homes in a time where they're not even supposed to be around others. Um, Election results are finally in. It took us approximately a week to count that stuff up. If you hadn't been paying attention, we were all over national news, being, to my knowledge, the only state that held their election normally without just doing mail-in only, but held an election during this time. One of the ironic things is the president has been very much against mail-in vote. He feels that it could be filled with fraud. Our county was the #1 county for mail-in votes in all of Wisconsin. Waukesha had lots of people mailing in votes. In fact, 40% of our votes were, or no, 40% of those registered to vote mailed in Waukesha County. So there were some upsets and some things that happened during that election. Definitely check that out, see what happened. All right, guys, let's keep this quick. What do you have going on? Well, for our history folks, you guys are continuing on that civil rights worksheet. Fortunately, you got everything in one place. It should be pretty easy for you guys. You're going to be learning about Emmett Till today. You got a couple of video clips and some questions, and that'll be the last thing from that particular sheet. And then you might have to listen to me for some notes again as we move on from there. Global relations, this is going to be our last day working on either the United Nations or World Health Organization. Those are a couple of things that we've highlighted, especially during this time. A couple of things we always highlight, but it works out nice during this time. You're just going to be looking for one of the summaries from your doc, and then, of course, reading everybody else's and coming up with a question. From there, we're going to start potentially working on our next topics on Thursday, because you guys have the day off tomorrow, just as you needed. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. As always, send me an email if you guys have any questions. That's what I'm doing in between time, grading stuff, answering your emails. But please check through all of our agendas first. Don't email me asking what you missed. It's all recorded there for you. That is why it is there for you. Also, when you do miss things, remember, I won't magically know that you've turned something in on one of these documents somewhere. I would have to be checking constantly just for you, not just in general, but I'd have to be looking just for you to be added. So if you have something that you've changed, turn it into the place that it was supposed to go in the first place, but then also send me an email with that attachment explaining that you have turned in something that potentially has already been graded. All right, you guys have a great Tuesday, and if I don't hear from you via email, I will definitely be checking with you on Thursday.